Welcome to Denver 7 at 6 a.m. this morning. We do have some breaking news to start. Our crews are on the way to a home explosion in Westminster. Just happened before 3 a.m. in a neighborhood south of US 36 near Federal Boulevard. If you can picture where that is, officials tell us one home on Knox Court is destroyed. You can see how many emergency vehicles are on scene there. Again, south of US 36 near Federal Boulevard. Two other homes in the area and several cars on the street have significant damage to them, but again, one home is destroyed.
Yeah, we're understanding that there were several gas leaks as a result of the explosion, and Xcel was called out to help cap a gas line that is now sealed. It's not clear right now if anyone was home at the time of the explosion. We don't have any reports of injuries at this point, but all of this information could change, so we will continue to bring you updates throughout this newscast and bring you new details as soon as we get them. Weather whiplash across Colorado.
It's a Denver 7 weather action day as temperatures plummet 50 degrees in less than 24 hours.
Wind chills this morning are anywhere from 15 to about 30 degrees below zero, and this cold air isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I'll show you just how long it's going to stay this bitter cold coming up.
It takes just minutes for these sub-zero temperatures to impact your health. I'll walk you through what to watch out for.
And Denver first responders are ready to get our most vulnerable neighbors to warmth and safety.
And that will be critical too, because this is a prolonged freeze. It'll be days before we thaw out. Take a look at the temperatures we're waking up to right now. They'll make you cringe. Single digits across much of the state. It feels colder with wind chills below zero.
Now, we're also seeing light snow falling across the metro. Many areas will see several inches spread out throughout the day. So our entire team is helping you prepare for the brutal cold out there. We have Jason, of course, keeping an eye on some trouble spots with that snow on the roads and icing over, of course.
Yeah, they're especially on the side roads, neighborhoods, they are totally snow covered. Up in Boulder, I'll show you that too.
Yeah. Meanwhile, put on all the layers today.
All of them. Cover all that exposed skin. Yeah, you walk out the door, you're like, oh, you know, it's one of those reactions. Take a look. This is what it feels like right now. 23 below in Denver, about 30 to 45 degrees below. Those were some of the wind chills that we saw near Sterling and Akron this morning. It's not as bad out on the western slope. Grand Junction right now feels like 23, but out across northeastern Colorado, that cold front, it raced through yesterday afternoon, and all we're doing is seeing temperatures tumble from there down to near zero this morning. This is all we're going to see is single digits, maybe near 10 degrees in a few neighborhoods this afternoon. That'll be it for our highs today. So this is going to be a really cold day and the chance for more light snow. Heavier snow falling in the mountains overnight. In fact, west of the divide, picking up a good 8 to about 16 inches of snow. We've got some winter storm warnings still in effect out west. We have another shot at seeing some snow here. It looks like late afternoon, early evening. So most of the snow that we're going to get today is going to be in the mountains, but by this afternoon for the commute, we'll likely start to pick up a bit more. And Jason, really over the next couple of days, it's not heavy snow, but it's enough that it's going to make the roads icy. And it's not warm out there, so that's not helping.
No, but if we do get even a little bit of sunshine, that should help us out a little bit. But right now, you can even see up in Boulder some of the snow-covered roads up there, up in Westminster, how snow-covered it is right now. So even on the major roads like 120th and Main Street up there, this is I-25. You see a long stretch of headlights, folks going slower than average, obviously. And then you see some of the other driving conditions like at 225. Take a look at the other quad split where you can see the road conditions are changing for us, like at I-25 in Santa Fe. It doesn't look too bad there. 225, the drive on Highway 36 at Federal, where you saw those flashing lights. You might see it from that home explosion just a little bit west of Federal. So take a look at the drive that we have there, the overall drive. You're starting to see a little bit more traffic on Highway 36, a lot more traffic on I-25, I-76, and 270, and speeds are dropping down into the 40s. Most folks are comfortable if the highways are open, going in the 50s right now, but you're still going to find those slick conditions. Seeing quite a bit of slow traffic now around University, Broadway, going up past Santa Fe. Nothing reported in there just yet, but I am starting to see traffic bunch up right through there where it's a little bit worse.
Well, those freezing temperatures will be sticking around for several days. It's cold enough to be a health hazard.
Yeah, we can only handle it for a couple minutes at a time. Denver 7's Katie LaSalle joins us this morning. Very important, and we see you're layered up, but very important for people to cover up in this weather.
Oh, absolutely. It can really be dangerous for our health. You know, the colder it gets, the faster you can get frostbite. Right now, it is 0 degrees. I'm at Washington Park. I have more layers on than I'd like to share, but it feels like it's in the negatives with winds sustained from the north-northeast around 10 to even 15 miles per hour at times. It's lightly snowing, roads are snow-packed, but the wind chill values, when it gets up to -10 to -15, you know, it really can only take about 30 minutes for exposed skin to get frostbite. We spoke to a doctor, Dr. Eric Hill, about the injuries that they see.
Frostbite injuries are typically in the fingers and toes, those kind of things. And they're typically in areas that are exposed to cold temperatures for prolonged periods of times, or if the clothing is wet. If it's wet and cold, much more risk for getting frostbite.
So bundle up. Right now it is, feels like it's just about -10, and the National Weather Service says really you need to get to wind chill values of -20 to see that frostbite occur, but protect yourself. I have so many layers on, it feels comical, like the performers getting in and out of a clown car. It's shocking, if that makes any sense, but protect yourself today, bundle up, and coming up at 6:30, I'll have more on ways to protect your pets through this snap of bitter cold. Coming up at 6:30. For now, live at Wash Park, Katie LaSalle, back to you. I'm getting back in the car.
I don't blame you. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, so cold, it's tough to move. It's tough to function right now. Hundreds of people brave the elements every night, and that's why it's so important for them to have a warm place to stay. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta continues our team coverage this morning with a local shelter helping those who are living on the streets right now.
It's brutally cold, and it's going to be for the next couple of days. So not a good idea, obviously, to be outside right now, especially if you don't have the right number of layers like Katie was talking about, and really the right number or the right quality of protection as well. And that's why shelters all across the Denver area, they are doing what they can to get our homeless neighbors inside. One of those shelters is the Crossroads Shelter, and this is with Salvation Army. They're actually expanding their capacity. Usually there's room for about 300 men to have a bed to sleep on at night in the shelter, but because of these frigid temperatures, the center has bumped that capacity by 80 beds. So they're gonna have a total of 380, and they're not stopping there. The shelter itself, it's welcoming even more people inside. They can fit up to 540 in that center. Some of them might not have a bed, but they will have a safe and warm place to sit. Now, Kristen Balliute, the Denver Metro Social Services Director with the Salvation Army, says there are a couple of ways that we can help our homeless neighbors with cold temps over the next couple of days.
If somebody is walking down the street and sees somebody who is of concern, even if they don't feel comfortable reaching out to that person to urge them to go in a shelter, have them reach out to the police or to the STAR program, which can be accessed through 911. It's very important. And somebody can fall asleep and very easily not wake up due to this weather.
Crossroad is just a men's shelter. Catholic Charities serves women, and then Urban Peak Shelter, they serve teens. So both are also going to be expanding their capacity to help as many people get inside and get warm. If you're wondering, Kristen just mentioned Denver Police and the STAR program. They're also going to be helping out as well. Any of their officers or their employees are able to come across someone out there who might be experiencing homelessness and might need some warmth, they can transport them to one of these shelters. We're in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, dangerously cold out there. Thank you, Veronica. And it's also going to get a little expensive if you're trying to heat your home in this cold weather. So Xcel has some tips. Set your thermostat to 58 degrees when you're not at home. Also, make sure to have a clean filter in your furnace so it doesn't have to work as hard. And turning down your water heater can save 3 to 5% on those costs. A long cold street like this is also when we often see broken pipes. A local plumber says you should open the cabinets under sinks to let warm air in and let your faucets drip a bit as well.
If your home's a little bit older as well and you've had problems with freezing in the past, then a good little trick you can do is leave your water dripping in your faucets, throughout the house, because water that's moving won't freeze.
Yeah, he also recommends taking a quick look around the house and make sure all of your hoses are disconnected from your house. You can track conditions for your neighborhood anytime by downloading the free Denver 7 Plus app for your cell phone or streaming device. We have a 24/7 weather stream, radar, and hour-by-hour forecast. Download that now to your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, or Android device.
Well, this morning, family and friends are mourning the loss of 5 people who died from a deadly dose of fentanyl.
Fentanyl's no good, man. It's the devil. It must have just took him just like that.
Now, the victims range in age from 24 to 32 years old. Dan Marquez spoke with us from his porch in North Denver. He still can't believe what happened. His son, Sam, is one of the 5 people who died from fentanyl poisoning in Commerce City. He also lost a daughter-in-law and son-in-law. And
Dan believes the group thought they were doing cocaine. The district attorney has confirmed the cause of death was fentanyl. Most of the time, people don't know that's what they're taking. And the tragedy is the latest destruction caused by the dangerous drug across our state. For those who have lost people they love, keeping their memory alive is key to make sure they're not overshadowed by the substance that took them away.
Sam, he's a good guy. He's 24, loved his job, always talking about his job, talking about his new daughter. He loved his daughter. Said, that's the new love of my life.
His son's newborn 4-month-old daughter was in the bedroom of the apartment at the time. A 6th adult also survived. Coming up at 6:30, we'll break down the disturbing number of drug-related deaths across Colorado. Here is some perspective on the deadly dose of fentanyl. Just that tiny amount you can see on the bottom right of your screen next to a penny can kill you. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid commonly used after surgeries. Lisa.
More light snow possible later this afternoon. When you look at our wake-up forecast, it's a cold one, single digits down to near 0 this morning. We're going to hit highs right around 7 to about 10 degrees.
And right now on the roadway, it's still pretty slick in a lot of spots across town. If you're going to be heading on the northbound side of I-25 going between Alameda and 6th Avenue, it looks pretty clear, but it's also very icy, and a lot of folks are trying to make that exit at 6th Avenue. So they're getting over early. It is slowing down traffic coming up from around Broadway, so a couple extra minutes. We'll take a look at all those travel times in just a minute.
Keeping cyclists across the metro safe, the rules of the road state lawmakers are hoping to change.
Plus, more companies are using artificial intelligence to conduct interviews. Some advice for this new age of job hunting.